You've had enough of the rat race. You're done. Your time in the hustle and bustle of life and your last day on the job is about to be a reality. It's time to retire, and you're ready for a change of scenery. So, if you're not planning on continuing to live in the hustle and bustle, where do you go? Well, I guess you could go to the sunshine state of Florida. I mean, that's where most people go, right? Oh, you know what though? I'm not quite sure about all those hurricanes and tornadoes. Nice down there, but I think I want to skip out on those. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's go to Arizona then. It's a nice place to visit, but I'm not too sure that I'd be wild about those 100+ degree days of heat. And also it's pretty dry being in the desert. So let me ask you a question. Have you ever considered Virginia as a retirement state? Probably not, but in this video I'm going to give you 12 reasons why you should consider making the Commonwealth of Virginia, and even more specifically, the Shenandoah Valley, your retirement home. Curious? Well, hang around until the end of the video to find out all 12 reasons why Virginia's Shenandoah Valley might be a good fit for you. But before we do all that, let's go ahead and get started right now. Hi, my name's Stefan, and along with my wife Leslie, as local real estate agents here in Virginia's beautiful mountains and valleys, we have folks contact us all the time looking to sell a home or purchase a home, and it's been our pleasure and our honor to have helped so many and to been able to work with you folks. But maybe it's you. Maybe it's your turn to sell a home or purchase a home here in the area. Leslie and I'd love to help you as well. In order to contact us, all of our information is in the description below. And additionally, if you like our channel, we'd love it if you click that subscribe button, touch that bell icon so that you don't miss a minute of all the fun things we do, both showing homes and neighborhoods and showing you a lot of events here in Virginia's beautiful mountains and valleys. Now earlier, I said that Virginia, and in particular the Shenandoah Valley, is one of the best retirement states. You might say, well, prove it. Well, let's start out with the fact that if you choose Virginia, you're in good company. Because reason number one is that many sources, including popular websites and other publications, rank Virginia as one of the best places to retire. You know, as a matter of fact, Virginia was ranked as the best retirement state in 2023 by Wallet Hub and number 3 in 2024. Now, if you were to look at multiple sources across the internet, you might see some states on retirement lists that you'd say, how'd that get there? For example, one of my saw said Minnesota was a great retirement state. Come on, who would want to retire to Minnesota? Now, I think it's important to understand that each source has its own methodology of ranking states, and if you're thinking, why would they ever put Minnesota on that list? I mean, it's freezing in the winter there. I'd probably agree with you. You know, but we all have our priorities, and some people might like Minnesota, but like I say, we all have our priorities of what makes a location a great place to retire to. And that's the reason for this video. I want to give you a view from someone who lives in Virginia and can give you more than just 3 or 4 generic conclusions when it comes to Virginia as a good retirement state. However, it can't be ignored that so many sources always rank Virginia at or near the top of the list. So let's go ahead, let's keep going and see how many other things about retirement in Virginia's Shenandoah Valley might spark your interest. So reason number 2, natural beauty. Now, if you watch our videos, you know I talk about this all the time. But I mean, hey, living in a beautiful place, I mean, it's sure one of the top things on my list when it comes to retirement. And you know, the mountains and valleys of our area are absolutely beautiful. They're just something about the area that really makes it special. It's just one of those things that you have to experience for yourself by being here. The Shenandoah Valley with the Blue Ridge Mountains on the east and the Allegheny Mountains to the west are a setting that are unlike any other. And when there's the headwaters of many of the streams and rivers that flow out of the mountains and into the valley and into larger rivers that eventually empty into the Atlantic Ocean, it's a great place for water sports as well. And don't forget, the farmers' fields. Some are full of crops, while others have sheep and cattle dotting the countryside. And of course, the fall of the year is when nature puts on a display of color that we enjoy every year, with people driving from miles away to experience the mountainside and the valley views as the color changes each day and throughout the day. You know, I could go on and on, but if you're looking for a beautiful place to live, the Shenandoah Valley is one of the best. Now, for reason number 3, it goes hand in hand with the beauty of the area, and that is the quality of life. Our beautiful mountains and valleys are especially tranquil and pastoral, which offers residents a relaxing and just a less stressful environment. Whether it's those white woolly sheep standing in emerald green pastures that dot the hillsides, or the quaint small towns and cities of our area, you just get a slower pace of lifestyle feeling, and you might even find yourself just sighing with relief. Now, that doesn't mean that there's no pace of life in the Shenandoah Valley. Indeed, many of the cities in the area are active with shopping, dining, and multiple activities, but if you want to get away from that, even in the small town, you're only within minutes to being in a rural area. Now again, it's something that you just have to be here to know what it feels like. And if you think I'm exaggerating, just ask any number of residents here in the area if it's a peaceful and unique place to live. You know, also, there's multiple folks that we've been honored, as I mentioned before, to have helped find a place for them in this tranquil setting. And several of them are going to tell you that they didn't even have Virginia's Shenandoah Valley on their radar as a place to live until they saw our videos. And once they came, they fell in love with it as well. So the tranquility of the area is just something that's just cannot be emphasized enough. Okay, so for reason number 4, let's talk about another big motivating factor as to why people move to a place like Florida, Arizona, or another southern state, and that is, of course, the weather, and that's fair. Now, this is one of those things that I hinted at earlier in the video when I said it comes down to preference. Obviously, the reason that many people like to move to places like Florida or Arizona, or at least parts of Arizona, is because of the warmer climate. Now, if that's the only thing you're looking for, no, the Shenandoah Valley probably isn't going to be for you. However, if you enjoy all 4 seasons, but where the winters aren't as harsh as in many northern states, then you should really give the Shenandoah Valley a look. Now, summers can get hot, but usually it's not for a long period of time, nor is the humidity usually as bad as in other places like in the South or like in the Midwest. And the elevation here is a primary factor that usually keeps the valley just a few degrees cooler than Charlottesville, just over on the other side of the mountain, and certainly cooler than the Richmond area. However, winters in the Shenandoah Valley are much milder than those in northern states. Yes, it sometimes snows in the winter, but it usually melts off in a few days or weeks at the longest. And now, I know that places like Florida and Arizona look good in the winter, but I think I'll have to pass on Arizona's 110 degree summer heat and Florida's 100% humidity. Personally, I think they're nice places to visit as a snowbird, but for me personally, I still like the 4 seasons and the changes that come with them. Now, I did an entire video on the climate of our area, so if you're interested in learning more details about what the weather is like in the Shenandoah Valley, then take a look at this video and it'll give you more information. Now, another common question that people often ask us when moving here to the area is about the cost of living. So, reason number 5, the Shenandoah Valley has a lower cost of living than the average in the United States. BestPlaces.net has a good comparison of several of the major cost factors when it comes to the cost of living. Now, on this graph, the average United States cost of living is represented as 100%. And as you can see, the Virginia cost of living as a whole is about 4% greater than the national average. However, Virginia's Shenandoah Valley's cost of living is much less than the United States average, which is certainly much more less than the Virginia average then, and it's much less than the United States average by at least 15%. Now, you can see that most people think about Virginia. When they do, they think about Northern Virginia or Richmond or the Tidewater areas. Large parts of these areas are much more expensive than places to live in most of the United States, and That's one reason why, though, the Shenandoah Valley isn't, and it makes it an attractive place to retire to. But now I want to take the cost of housing out of the overall cost of living formula and look at it separately, as this is most likely the largest expense which you're going to incur if you live here in the area. So the cost of housing in the Shenandoah Valley is the sixth reason that makes Virginia's mountains and valleys, and more specifically, like I say, the Shenandoah Valley, a great place to retire to. As you can see, the median home sales prices in many cases are $100,000 less than the national median. As a matter of fact, the median priced home in the Shenandoah Valley overall is about 25% less than the national median. You know, Leslie and I often have people call us who live in more expensive areas of the country, and when they move to the Shenandoah Valley, they get one of two things when purchasing a home. A home of similar size to where they lived for a whole lot less, or a larger home with maybe more land for the same amount they were paying where they lived. So, if the cost of housing is an important factor for you, or if you're looking for some extra room with possibly some land, the Shenandoah Valley will give you both of those options. Let's move on and talk about healthcare as the seventh reason why the Shenandoah Valley is a good place to retire to. Whether it's the north end of the Shenandoah Valley in Winchester, the center of the valley in Harrisonburg, or towards the southern end of the Shenandoah Valley between Staunton and Waynesboro, the Shenandoah Valley has some award-winning hospitals. You'll find high-performing hospitals within 30 minutes of most locations in the Shenandoah Valley, and each has a specific high-performance area, and while all of them are safe, matter of fact, Augusta Health was recognized as one of the safest hospitals in the entire state. As a matter of fact, Virginia has been ranked overall by U.S. News & World Report as having the second best hospitals in all of the United States. Now, additionally, if you need even more highly specialized treatment, Charlottesville is home to both the University of Virginia and Martha Jefferson hospitals. Martha Jefferson was ranked number 6, and UVA was ranked as the number 1 hospital in all of Virginia, as ranked again by Newsweek. Also, UVA is known for being the number 1 ranked children's hospital in Virginia as well. So, when it comes to healthcare, the Shenandoah Valley and the surrounding area has you covered. All right, reason number 8. Much of the Shenandoah Valley isn't that far from the beach. All right, so you beach bums out there, pack up your suntan lotion and your boogie boards, and you can drive to Virginia Beach, which from many locations in the Shenandoah Valley is within 3 to 4 hours. Now, yes, I know it's not right on the beach, but if you like having mountain views, but you still want to enjoy the hot sand, weekend trips to the beach are an unquestionable reality from the Shenandoah Valley. You can enjoy the beach without having to live in the hustle and bustle of the beach towns and the beach cities as well. Now, here's the thing. I know that if the beach is your primary retirement destination goal, the Shenandoah Valley probably won't suffice. But if you're looking for a beautiful area, kind of a balance within reach of the ocean, well, then this could be your place. Now, if you're thinking about the beach, you might be an outdoor enthusiast, and that's why you'll love reason number 9. The Shenandoah Valley is an outdoor enthusiast's playground. So, what do you want to do? Hiking on the many trails in the area or even down the Appalachian Trail? Check. Kayaking or canoeing down the many rivers in the Shenandoah Valley? Check. What about winter snow skiing? Check. And you can do that at any of the 3 ski resorts in the area. What about cycling, whether it's off-road or through scenic country roads? Check. Oh, and by the way, if you dare, in the summer, you can downhill off-road those same trails that you skied on in the winter at Bryce Resort. So maybe you enjoy rock climbing. Check. Or maybe you're a golfer, or you love horseback riding or camping, and the list goes on and on. If you love being not close to, but living in the middle of outdoor adventures, the Shenandoah Valley fits that bill. So outdoor activities are a big check. Let's go ahead and let's move on to reason number 10. There's plenty of entertainment and cultural activities. Now, some of you out there might be thinking, no way, you said it was a peaceful and rural area. You can't have many forms of entertainment. Survey said, yes, the Shenandoah Valley, it is peaceful and rural, and while we certainly won't have city-style venue events like professional sports games and other big city events, They're only a couple hours away in Northern Virginia or Richmond. So you don't have to live in the middle of all the craziness all the time. Instead, you can just plan a visit to Crazy Town. And besides that, we have all the outdoor entertainment that these big cities don't have. So what types of entertainment can be found in the Valley? Well, if you're into sports, you can enjoy NCAA Division I sports at James Madison University in Harrisonburg, and additionally, the University of Virginia is just over the mountain in Charlottesville. But maybe you like music concerts. Well, the Shenandoah Valley is host to lots of these events, like the Shenandoah Valley Music Festival, the Red Wing Roots Festival, Rock the Ridge, and others that just feature different genres of music, from rock to country to jazz and to bluegrass. Now, one of the best places to catch some entertainment that's local is at the many wineries in the Shenandoah Valley, whether it's Barren Ridge Vineyards, Bluestone Vineyards, Echo Adesso Vineyards, or most any of the many wineries and vineyards that we have here in the area. All of them have regular musical guests as well as other forms of entertainment throughout the year. And when it comes to culture, whether you're visiting Staunton's Frontier Culture Museum, taking in a play at one of the many theaters in the Shenandoah Valley, enjoying the works of art of many local artisans, or just experiencing the area's rural heritage, I mean, the Shenandoah Valley has multiple cultural activities. As an example, I talked about Staunton's art culture in these 3 videos, and they'll give you an idea of what Staunton is like year-round when it comes to some of their culture. There are formal and informal events that take place throughout the year up and down the Shenandoah Valley, allowing you to immerse yourself in the culture of the small cities and towns of the valley, or you can enjoy activities like farmers markets and rural farm culture by visiting multiple farms. Another thing to enjoy in the valley, which will also give you a taste of some of the cultural flavor, is reason number 11. There are many festivals that take place up and down the Shenandoah Valley. Whether it's Dayton Days or the Elkton Fall Festival, the Edinburgh Old Time Festival, or Queen City Mischief and Magic. And that's just a few of them. You'll always have a festival you can go to where you'll see anything from artwork and crafts made by our local artisans to even Dobby, Dumbledore, and even Harry Potter himself. Now, of course, there's good food, good music, fun activities, and events that take place at many of the different locations. And if you want to get an idea of what some of these festivals are like, watch these 3 videos about Dayton Days, Elkton Autumn Days, and Queen City Mischief and Magic to give you a taste of what some of our festivals are like here in the Valley. And finally, reason number 12, history. Simply put, you're in the middle of some pretty significant United States history here in the Shenandoah Valley. So if you're a history buff, you can walk up and down multiple Civil War battlefields, go to old mills where grain is still ground as it was hundreds of years ago, or just visit so many different historical locations that like I said, if you're a history buff, you're going to love all the adventures that you can do here in the Shenandoah Valley. Additionally, you're not too far away from other historical locations like Gettysburg, Antietam, Harpers Ferry, and Appomattox Courthouse. Having taught school in Virginia for multiple years as a teacher, it was always incredible to be in an area where you wouldn't just teach kids about history and historical locations, but you lived near them and you could visit them to really get a perspective that simply can't be understood by reading a textbook, or I guess today an iPad or a computer, right? So, in any case, history abounds in the Shenandoah Valley, and it's a wonderful treasure for all of us as residents. Now, I could probably go on with a list of why the Shenandoah Valley is such a great place to retire to. I mean, for example, I didn't even mention that Virginia does not tax Social Security income, and there's no inheritance tax, no state tax here. But like I say, when you're talking about the Shenandoah Valley, it's easy to talk about where you live if you love living there. But what about you? Are you thinking of getting out of the rat race, or maybe it's just a lackluster area that you're currently living in? Well, from the beauty of the area to the financial advantages to all of the recreation and to all of its entertainment and everywhere in between, the Shenandoah Valley has so much to offer. And maybe you're looking for just this type of place to spend your retirement years. If that's the case, then please reach out to Leslie and me by contacting us via phone, text, or email so that we can help make your desire become a reality by finding you not just a home, but a home that you're going to love living in. It would be our honor and our privilege to help. So, now that I'm done with this video, I think it's time for me to retire.
I'm sorry, what?
To bed. Oh, that was sad, wasn't it? All right, so anyway, here's wishing you the best from, in my opinion, the best place in Virginia, the Shenandoah Valley. But until next time, I'll see you around town.